Samples and business opportunities are available at getgreathair.biz. Good morning weather forecast. Clouds and a few showers expected today. Temperatures near 60 degrees, light south winds. Better chance of rain showers tonight, mostly cloudy. That overnight temperature in the mid-50s. Clouds and rain showers expected Thursday and Thursday night. Low pressure developing over the southwest. And the temperature Thursday in the low 60s. And Friday, chance of snow showers and rain showers, colder temperatures in the 30s. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. At least 13 people have died after mudslides in Southern California. The EU's chief Brexit negotiator says the bloc is united in part because of Donald Trump. Ecuador says it's looking into bringing in a third-party mediator over the disagreement with the UK about Julian Assange. And an American firm is to resume the search for missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 after a deal with the Malaysian government.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Wednesday. It's January 10th, 2018. This is Community Conversations. Cato Wonder is in the studio with you. I'm joined by my co-host, Ms. Quabila Jones-Harden, and we have Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State University. He is joining us in the studio today, and so you know it's going to be a fun show today, and we're just so thankful to have Kelly in the studio with us today. And of course, Kelly, you've been some of everywhere. Like I was just saying when we got off the air, I look up and you're posting from the national championship, and of course, as I asked off there, I said, well, you know, your former employer, Oklahoma, didn't make it to the championship game, and I asked who he was rooting for, and he said the guy in front of him to sit down. But,
yeah, I'm getting to be one of those old cranky guys now that wants the people in front of them to sit down. So it's funny. That's such a beautiful stadium. I don't know if you've been inside of it yet, but it's brand new and it's really incredible. And the screen above the stadium goes around in a circle around the inside. And so it's kind of like being in Jerry World with that big screen in front of you, and if you're not careful, you end up watching the game on TV. Oh. And so then you say, man, I could just be at home doing this.
Yeah, so, well, I have been in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've been to an event at the old stadium, the Georgia Dome.
Well, you know, I was there before the Georgia Dome, and I can't believe there are already two stadiums in. I mean, I don't know where people get their money.
Wow. Yeah, well,
I could sure use a lot of it.
Yeah, they've imploded the Georgia Dome. But speaking of money, there's a lot of things that are going on in Arkansas State, and one of the things going on is that speaking of, and it also ties into stadiums with our own Centennial Bank Stadium. Centennial Bank and the Fowler family donated $10 million and $1.
$10 million and $1.
You know, toward the North End expansion, and then First National Bank, they donated $5 million for the naming rights to the former Convocation Center. So there's been a lot of giving and a lot of things going on with facilities at Arkansas State. So kind of give your thoughts on that.
Sure. Well, we're first off really thankful for both of those banks and the support that all of our banks here locally give us. But those two banks really stepped up to help us out, and that's really the future of and the present of higher education anymore. It used to be that universities were state funded, and then they became state supported, and now many universities are state located. Not as much funding from the state as there used to be, which means we rely a lot more on private funding than we used to in the past. And so when a business or an individual is able to help us with the resource needs that we have, that's always a great thing for us. It says something about their belief in Arkansas State, which I think says a lot. It says 10 million things in the case of Centennial Bank, and then First National Bank, of course, gets their name on a building that actually has a lot of events, not just basketball, but there's a lot of graduations and sporting events and athletic events. There's a rodeo and a big truck rally coming up. Now, what a big wheel truck thing or something, and concerts, and so they get a little bit out of this as well. They get advertising. Every time there's an event there, it's called, we're live from the FNB Arena, we're live from Centennial Bank Stadium or Johnny Allison Field, and so they get a little bit out of it, but we get a lot out of it, and we couldn't survive without that kind of support.
And one more thing, and before I let Kobita take over, and I don't want to, because I'm sure I could probably have a whole show of issues for Kelly about myself, but tying into
about yourself.
Well, no, not about me. I mean, but it's about A-State. But you talk about how this is important and about funding. Of course, as you know, yesterday Governor Hutchinson, made a push to try to, cap, increases in tuition. Of course, the cost of higher education is going up, and of course, you want to keep tuition down. So obviously, the challenge that you have as Chancellor is also Dr. Welch as the system president, to try to keep things in line and things in budget. So, with all of the things that's going on, how are you approaching the situation?
Well, it's a great question. I'm glad that the governor said what he said, because it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, is maintaining and lowering, if possible, costs to our students. The cost of higher education to students has outpaced the cost of inflation, and that includes lots of things: cost of textbooks, cost of tuition, cost of living on campus. All those things have outpaced the natural increase in costs generally. Wow. And so part of that has happened because states have divested from higher education. They have given less money to higher education over the years, and they did that because universities could raise tuition so they could raise other money in other ways, and also private money. But what has happened over time is we have started to out-cost ourselves, where we have become, I'm saying education in general, higher education in general, a very expensive enterprise where people are having to take student loans to be able to afford to go to college. And many students are saying, I can't afford to go at all. And that's not true. Actually, there's lots of ways to be able to afford to go. If you're very poor, there are lots of government subsidies and bank student loans that are available to folks. But we need to do whatever we can to lower the cost, or at least maintain the cost, or put a cap on the cost of students. And it was always my goal to not increase tuition. I've talked about that several times at different venues. If I can not increase tuition, I will. And now, one of the things that happens if you do that, if you maintain, or you cap all of your income at a certain level, you don't have enough money to do the things you need to do. We need to hire faculty. We need to pay them a competitive wage. If you don't, you're going to lose your best faculty. We got staff members who are not paid as much as they need to be paid as well, and so we have to figure out a way to minimize the cost to our students while also having the resources available to help our faculty and our staff be successful, and also to provide programming for our students. And so it's a tough job, but that's what they hired me to do, and so I'm excited about the challenge. I'm grateful that the governor gave us that challenge. I'm not afraid of that at all, and I'm looking forward to figuring out ways to make our university work with the same resources we had in the past.
Okay. And I'm sure the students, speaking as a student.
Yeah, since you guys are both students, yeah, both are alumni.
Well, not alumni.
Did you
I'm
graduate
alumni, she's
yet?
a student.
Hopefully by August.
By August, okay.
Yeah,
we
I was
talked
telling
about
her-
statistics last time I was here.
Yeah, I was, and of course, while we're talking about graduations, another thing that you've done that is very unique is you actually delivered diplomas to students who could not attend graduation. You put on your regalia, and you brought the diploma cover and the cap and gown, and you had a film crew with you, and you surprised these people at their places of employment, and the joy on the people's faces. I was telling Quabila, if Quabila can't make graduation, maybe we can get you to bring her here to the studio, live on the air.
We could do that. That's I actually kind of wish the film crew wasn't there when we first started doing it, because I just wanted this to be something for not to focus on me, but to focus on the student who had done so much. In one case, a school teacher was not able to come because her son had a basketball game and she couldn't get away, and so we went to her classroom and presented in front of her students. And I wish it had just been me and her
and your camera
and maybe my selfie, my phone,
the selfie
selfie at the end. But I'm not sure I would even have posted anything. But because the crew was there and we had actually a live Facebook feed on it, I was amazed by the feedback we got from that. That people seemed very interested that we had done that. I didn't do it for that reason, but it showed me that people are interested in what's going on at Arkansas State, and it really, I think, helped us to solidify the notion that every Red Wolf counts, including those who don't attend here in person. We have several thousand students who are online who have never been in Jonesboro, and some of whom have never been in the state of Arkansas, and we wanted them to know that they count just like all the on-campus students.
And of course, you have the Red Wolves in Mexico.
Yeah, so we have Red Wolves in Mexico, but some have never been in the country before, and so they all count. And so, I deal with all those people on a daily basis, and they're always in front of my brain, in front of my eyes, thinking about them a lot. And so when I started thinking about those folks who had never been on campus before, and certainly didn't come to graduation, I thought, what could we do? Is there someone nearby we could drive to? And our local office staff who run those programs said, yeah, here's a couple of names for a couple of people that we can go visit. And in both cases, it kind of made the day of the people who were there. The principal of the teacher who got the certificate is also one of our graduates, and she was very happy to see us there. And then in the other case, the woman works actually for Homeland Security, and she's got a nursing degree, and so for her staff to see us there, it kind of validated her efforts. And in fact, a little insider information here, we're actually going to hire her. She's going to become part of our staff now. She's done such a great job.
Well, that's awesome.
I didn't know that until a couple weeks ago. So.
And just an aside to that, those kids that see that, they're probably like, this is really cool. We want to go to that guy's school.
That's
so
why
it's a good recruiting tool as well.
It's funny, on the Facebook Live deal, the video cut off. We lost the feed, and so we couldn't see the end of it. But I had a chance to talk to the kids after and said, hey, your teacher did something really special. She went to college, and that's how she became a teacher. And someday you guys can go to college and do something special like she can. And of course, half of them wanted to be teachers like she was. And so, because, when you're that age, you only know about 10 jobs, right? The doctor, maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're a
police officer,
fireman, nurse, and teacher. And most kids want to be teachers, and they kind of grow out of that. I wish more people would be involved in teaching. It's such a noble profession. But anyways, it was really special. Both my sister-in-laws and my wife were both teachers in the past. In fact, and we got a lot of teachers in our family, and so it was great to see her get recognized. And what was really special was when we left, all of her co-teachers and the principal were all there, and they were excited for her too. And so she was acknowledged by her students, but also by her peers, which is really cool, which doesn't really happen at a normal graduation where only your family's there to see you walk across the stage. So.
And when you graduate, I mean, yes, you as an individual earn the degree, but your whole family is involved in the whole process with those that are supportive of you. So it means something to everyone that's seen you study, seen you miss out on events because you have to study, you have an exam. I mean, you reshape your life all around school and classes. I know I have.
Well, and it's a tremendous sacrifice for an adult learner to who has a job and a family and a mortgage and a life, and to say, I'm going to take 2 years out for myself and finish my degree, my undergraduate degree, or earn a master's degree, so I can better my opportunities in the workplace or just become a better, more well-rounded person. It's a tremendous sacrifice. Lots of vacations and holidays and sick days are used up. Even when you're sick, you're working on your project at home, and so it's to be successful in that arena is really telling. But you're not the only one sacrificing. And of course, kids are sacrificing, and your friends and family are as well. So you're right on target there.
We got a Facebook shout out to Helen Scott. Appreciate you for checking in on your on our Facebook Live feed. And of course, you can leave your questions and comments for Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State. Now, we were talking about graduation, and of course, this past fall graduation was your first as a chancellor, and I was there because I had a cousin, Xavier Flowers, who graduated, and a couple
was
things.
He wearing a black cap and a gown? I remember him. Yeah. No.
And but a couple things that stood out when you got up. You said cheering and clapping is encourage, which, usually they say, don't clap, at graduation. And, but, I think you realize that, what this means to people, and that the emotions that families feel when seeing that their loved one is going across the stage. And, of course, there was this one student, a member of Omega Psi Phi, who, after he got his diploma, he set out to hop, and everybody cheered. And you even actually shared a video on your page that was recorded of him doing that.
Yeah, it was, it's a couple things. First, I think it's important to be respectful when people are getting recognized. You don't want to interrupt the next person's diploma receipt by making too big of a demonstration. But that said, this is for many people who are walked across the stage that day, they were the first ones in their family that ever graduate, and their parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles who were there, maybe their children in some cases, to see them walk across stage. You need to give them a chance to celebrate that, because again, the sacrifice that they made. And so if that adds 3 or 5 minutes to the length of the graduation, that's worth it, as long as it doesn't take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But in that young man's case, though, he was really excited, and I think the spirit took hold of him after he got his diploma. And I didn't see what happened because it was off to my right a little bit. And then I look over, I could just see his head above the other students' heads, and it was going up and down. So I thought, man, he's doing something over there, break dancing or something. He was doing some kind of dance. And then I found a copy of the video of him dancing, so I put that up there because it was symbolic about, I've been to 40 or 50 graduations, and after a while it's like, all right, let's pass out the diploma covers, let's get this thing over with. How is it almost done yet? And it becomes very formulaic, but it's moments like that remind you why we do this job, and that we do this job to change people's lives. And that young man was experiencing in that moment what a life-changing experience he was experiencing. His life was changed forever because he got a college degree. And so I couldn't help but celebrate that when I found that video.
That is amazing.
Shout out to all the Omegas.
I knew you'd get that in.
So, since your time, you have been like you said earlier, you've been all over the place. Have you had a chance to meet each and every faculty and staff member?
No, I have been going around and meeting with the departments as a whole. So I've met with several departments this fall, and then this spring I'm starting to line up meetings with all of them in the spring. So I hope by the end of the semester I'll have met everybody, at least in a group. I've met several people individually. I do a lot of coffees with people, trying to get to know people, because we're a small enough university where a chancellor at Arkansas State can get to know everybody. And I feel like I know a lot of faculty already pretty well, and staff members as well, because we can do that here. There's only 450 faculty.
Oh, okay.
Members. I had 650 back at University of Oklahoma, and I knew a lot of them too.
That was just one college.
That was just one college. But I made it a point to know all of them as well, and so I'll get to them eventually. But this is, we're in this together, and it is sometimes easy for a faculty member who doesn't know the administration to believe that maybe the chancellor has sinister plans underway to do something, and nothing could be further from the case. All I care about is our students and our staff and our faculty being successful, and my job is to provide them the resources to be successful.
Okay.
And so I want my faculty and our staff to know who I am and to hear from them, because they've got a lot of great ideas too. They've been here a lot longer than I have, and I've started a couple things that I've wanted to do as soon as I got here, mostly around student success. But those were my ideas. But I'm now in the mode of trying to figure out what other people want to do, and listening to people. That's what I did for the last 6 months, was listen to people. And we've taken a lot of things that faculty and staff have told me, and we've tried to come up with accommodations to change how we do things around campus.
And one thing that I see that's new to me is it should be in my email. It's you have solicited or gathered several staff members together. It's not called the Wolf Pack. It's basically it's a team of faculty members that basically helps retain
Sure.
students?
It's the Chancellor's Commission on Completion.
Okay.
And it's actually, it's got staff and faculty on it. And the plan is for them to meet. These are people who are situated all across campus. Every corner of campus is represented by someone on that committee. There's one person from each college. There's a faculty member at large who used to be a dean, and so he knows how things run in administration. And then staff members in every corner in housing and so on. And they met weekly all last semester to look at how we do things and how we can improve processes inside our university to help students continue to be students at A-State and then eventually to graduate. And so, for example, that question, the big question we have to answer is retention, first-year retention. Last year, we lost 27% of our freshman class. Well, if you do that year after year after year, you have almost nobody left at the end to graduate. You figure there's 4 years and you lose 25% of your class every year. There's relatively few people left, and so that's what started me to have this commission. And what's interesting is that you have to look at what you're doing today when you're worrying about next fall's retention numbers, about this current semester's freshmen. And so we started monitoring enrollment in the spring semester of our current freshmen, and our goal is for that ultimately to be about 95% retention. We'd like to retain almost all of them, but really this year our goal is to retain 92% from fall to spring. And we're on pace for that right now. We're monitoring that. But last year, we only retained about 85% from fall to spring. So we lost 15% in the first semester. So we're monitoring that, and we're looking at creating programs to help make sure that we do the best job we can to retain our students, because that's our job.
And with that, we'll be back with more with Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State University. This is Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you flirt with your spouse? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Flirting with your spouse is a good thing and can reap a lot of benefits. So here's some fun, playful, creative ways to flirt with your spouse. Leave a note for her on her pillow or mirror before you go on a trip. Something specific like, "Thanks for taking care of so many details when I'm gone. You do a great job." Or leave a note on his car rearview mirror saying, "I'm jealous of this mirror because it's looking at you." Maybe turn on your favorite song on your smartphone and dance in the kitchen with her when she least expects it. Not every idea works for every spouse, so try different things. For more ways to flirt with your spouse, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com. Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the city of Jonesboro will be hosting a pop-up warming center at Parker Park Community Center from 10 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. This will be an effort in volunteering to warm up Jonesboro's underserved community. Volunteers are needed. More information is available via Chelsea Chapman at 870-336-7161 or Dante Barker at 870-336-7060.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community
I love
Conversations.
his voice.
Oh, we're talking about the...
Yeah, who is that? Is that...
Well, it's not me. It's actually, the guy's name is Marcus. He does some imaging for us.
He does a great job.
Well, I'll have to send him an email and tell him you said that. We're back with Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State University. This is Community Conversations. This is Cato Wonder, who does not have a deep voice like Marcus, and Kabila, who has a much prettier voice than mine. And we have just totally went left and started talking about voices and whatnot. But that's what happens when we have Kelly in the studio. You just never know what's going to happen. Of course, if you have a question or a comment for Dr. Kelly Damphousse, you can leave it on our Facebook Live feed. Or if you're old school, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080.
One thing I want to point out, since I've become a student, I follow the Arkansas State University
Good for you.
Instagram and Facebook page a lot more than I read my emails from the
Bad for you.
the daily
Read those
digest.
emails.
But I saw that a lot of the staff members and professors really dug in and made personal phone calls to students who received either scholarships. It says, they called people that were going to be the class of 2022 to offer them institutional scholarships. So what was the feedback from that, from the student and the professors?
Well, that's interesting. We have to take advantage of the things that we're good at. One of the things that we have that's an advantage for us is that we're a smaller university, which means we can provide a more personal touch. And so we're in competition with other universities for the future freshmen, for next year's freshman class. And so the students that were admitted to Arkansas State for next fall, we called all of them and said, here you've been admitted, congratulations, and then here's your scholarship as well. Now this group that you're talking about, that was the vice chancellors and me, and so it was the 5 people at kind of the top of the university, and we were calling students in the Jonesboro area and also in the Little Rock area.
Oh, wow.
And oftentimes it's funny. This won't surprise you too much. Students don't answer their phone. It's some weird. I was calling from my cell phone, so I was trying to save the state money, so I was calling from my cell phone, and they got this random 870 number, so everything went to voicemail. But periodically, I'd be calling a home number, and a parent would answer, and I'd say, "Hey, I'm Kelly Damphousse. I'm the chancellor from Arkansas State, and I want to talk to Sally about her admission to Arkansas State and talk to her about her scholarships." And they would get so excited, say, "Let me find her. She's upstairs." And, Sally.
And if you had called my mother back, if you had been chancellor in '96,
there's no chance I was calling you to get you a scholarship.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, because when I attended Arkansas State, I did have a scholarship, and I got I got a letter, saying congratulations. But I was just thinking, if I had gotten that call, it would have been exciting. I know my mother, if I wasn't there and you called, of course, back then, like '96, you would have called the house phone. There was no cell phone. But if you had called and she answered, then I know she would have been beyond ecstatic, because that was her main thing. She wanted me to go to college and get my education. Yeah. So I can just only imagine the joy that those students and those parents felt.
Well, and it was, there's one fellow in particular that I remember. He and I are Facebook friends, and we may have met a time or two. But when I called and I said, "Hey, this is Kelly Damphousse calling," and I wasn't sure who I was talking to, so I didn't know it was him. And he said, "Hey, Chancellor, how you doing?" "What? Let me go get him." And then he posted something on Facebook that night, and the next day that he got the letter they posted something. Kelly Damphousse wasn't lying. He really got a scholarship. and I talked to him later, and he says, yeah, my son's going to Arkansas State. And so that's what we're trying to do, is maximize the personal connection. When you come to Arkansas State, you're going to be interacting with administrators and staff and faculty who knew who you are. We don't have very large classes, and so you're not a number on a wall. When I taught at University of Oklahoma, when I taught in the fall, I taught 400 students. And sometimes I'd be in the cafeteria in my residence hall, and a student would come up beside me and say, hey, Dr. D, I'm in your class. And I go, oh, yeah, I kind of remember. Where do you sit? It would be a different deal. But here, this is a place where your faculty members will know who you are and will care about you. And that's what we're trying to promote here, because that's really one of our great strengths. Our faculty are incredibly gifted, but also very compassionate about our students and their success.
Now, Kelly, you mentioned when you first got here that you wanted to teach a class yourself. Have you started teaching that class yet?
Yeah, I haven't started yet. It starts on Tuesday. It's my first class.
What will you be teaching?
I'll be teaching Introduction to Sociology.
And how many students are in the class?
I don't know. I think it's 80.
I imagine it was probably very competitive to get in.
I think people are probably like forced to get in there and say, "Oh God, can't believe it." Yeah, or they don't know who it is. Like, who's this Damphousse guy? Or woman. A lot of people think I'm a woman because I've got a girl's name. So, yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait to get back to the classroom. If you're not teaching as an administrator, it's really easy to kind of like, lose track about why you're here, not interacting with students in the classroom. And it's really hard to keep up with the swing of the semester. Like, is it midterms right now, or is it no? It's finals. Really, where'd the semester go? And so I think teaching is a grounding thing for administrators. And I'm not sure who teaches on our campus. I don't go around asking people who teaches and who doesn't teach. But I think it's really important for our administrators who have a teaching background to be in the classroom. I always taught when I was a dean back at my former institution, and I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything. I've always loved them.
Too bad I'm too far along in my degree to take that class.
That's funny. Come sit in if there's room.
Oh no, I'm past.
You're done now.
Past the intro classes.
I'm gonna take you up on that. What day and time is the class?
I don't know what it is. I'll have to go look that up. Look at being evasive now. Now it's Tuesday mornings. Tuesday morning is the first class, and I think it's 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it.
That'd be perfect timing.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ask the room number. I'll look it up.
Alrighty, so I want to talk a little bit about, you've been literally all over the place. We've talked about, I've kind of made a joke to you about, you remember the show, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is Kelly Damphousse?
And I mentioned this to some students that came, Jack and the guys that run the food pantry, and they were like, I don't know Carmen Sandiego. They're too young.
They know Where's Waldo.
Yes. So we're gonna have to do a Where on Campus is Dr. Kelly Damphousse.
He's with the BCM Naked guys.
Yeah.
And of course that video was a trip.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. It was an idea that Beth and I had. We're trying to drum up some spirit for the football game. That was our last game. It was basically a conference championship game. And I had gone several times at the end of the football games. A lot of the students were leaving and a lot of fans were leaving as well, the game. And the naked guys were the only guys that were left, and a few students around them. And so I was hanging out with them in the fourth quarter, and I thought, well, maybe we could do something with them about getting students to come and to stay. And I said, wouldn't it be funny if they painted me up, and then I'm going to take my shirt off, and then you stop them? And she said, yeah, let's do that. And so we literally did that the night before the game. Actually, it was Thursday night, I think. And like at midnight, they came to my office around midnight, these poor guys and the young lady, and they had a lot of fun doing it. And I couldn't believe how big of a hit that video was. It got watched by a lot of people.
Best wife for the block.
Yeah. She made a lot of people happy, and now everyone understands why she's best wife. So stopping me from exposing myself.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, you mentioned that video, but you also do a First Friday video. So how did that come about? Was it something you did at your previous college?
No. This actually, there's always been a tradition, I guess, here where the chancellor or previously the president would once a month send a newsletter or an email out to the faculty saying, here's what's going on in this coming month
Okay.
at the university. And when Doug Whitlock came, he said he wanted to do a video. And so they put him in a studio in front of a green screen, and he would do a video. And he basically did kind of like I read from a teleprompter, kind of like a newscast kind of thing. And so when I came here, he said, "Now you don't have to do it, but a lot of people like the video." And so it's kind of an homage to him that we keep doing the video. But I wanted to do it a little differently in that we go do it on locations in different places to highlight what's going on here. And so we've done it in a classroom. On the first week of school, we did it in a classroom. We've done it at the Beck Pride Center. We've done it in my office. We've done it in my house a couple times. And so just be on the lookout. We've got some ideas for some new things, and maybe involving students more and some faculty more in this. It's not easy to do. It's actually the most stressful thing I do every month. I live in dread thinking about the first Friday video filming is coming up, and I'll be all stressed out, and I'm just not. It's just not my gig. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, and Beth is. That's why I bring her in, because she's like a natural. She's a pro. No, thank you. And so
maybe you can get Maple in on a couple of them.
She's been in a couple. She's been in a couple. Yeah, she was there for the football one.
Now, I saw an outtake video. You all decided to post that, and so it was kind of funny because Miss Beth was like, she's like a one take.
She's the one take wonder. I'll get up there and I'll go. And so, anyways, at Arkansas, and I'll flub up Arkansas State University of all things, and then she gets in there and she just like reels stuff off, like she's like Hoda Kotb, on the Today Show. She's just rolling through things, and then so. One day we did a video and she messed up, and I said, "See, it's not so easy, is it?" Yeah. And it's the one time she messed up, and so again, I'm trying to make things interesting here. So I talked to the video crew. I said, "Can we put together a blooper video of all the mistakes I made? That might be kind of funny." And they put the one in there that she made, and it actually she didn't mind. She's got a good nature, good spirit, and so again, that's another video that took off. I think 40,000 people saw the video, but it's just. I think in some ways it just kind of shows our humanity, that we're just normal, real people, and we're trying our best to do the best job we can, and we make mistakes, and we're not perfect. And what you see on the first Friday video is the result of a lot of hard work behind the scenes of people cutting together.
Wow.
Well, as a radio TV grad, I know about
what's going on in the
editing that can go on.
That's right. We take about an hour's worth of video and they collapse it into like a minute and a half, and so that's good.
So since I know. Your first year, you had a lot to do, coming into a new place, getting to meet new people, students as well. What has been some of the feedback? I mean, I see your different videos with the students and the different activities you've been involved in. Do you feel that within a year you have helped to boost the energy on campus?
The morale.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the worst person to ask that question to.
Okay.
First off, the answer would be self-serving. Oh yes, I've made it much more wonderful since I've been here. And second, I wasn't here, so I don't have a good gauge. But it's something we're really consciously trying to do, though, is to make people happy that they're here and to boost morale, as Laganzi said.
Well, I guess from January to December, from your personal observation.
Well, he still feels like he'd be self-serving.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I wasn't here in January, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. When did you actually?
I came July 1st was my first day, so
I need to go. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But I will say that has been my goal, is to make people happy to be here, to make people proud of their university, make the people of Jonesboro proud of their university. I think they already are and were, but. I didn't want to do anything to distract from that. Okay. And so I hope I've added to that sense of esprit de corps. We're all in this together. Okay. I try to use that a lot. I don't like to think of myself as a boss, but just one person is sitting here serving in a certain position where everybody else is serving in their position, because we all have the same goal. One, to create a great university that provides opportunities for our faculty and staff to be successful in their career path, but also for our students to get a degree and then be successful citizens when they leave here. And my job is to make sure we're all focused on that and not getting distracted by other stuff. And so hopefully the morale's gotten better.
Well, I'll just say that, from my observations and from what I see and hear, that even though you wouldn't want to say it yourself, but I think you have done a great job. I think the morale is up. I think that the excitement about the university is at an all-time high. I think great things are coming for the university, and we're definitely thankful for all that you do. So even though it's been self-serving for you to say it, so
well, thanks. Well, we're working really hard. Beth and I have poured everything we have into this, and this is a place worth investing in, and it really is a great university. And we wouldn't have come if we wouldn't have thought so. So we were very comfortable where we were, and we just saw the diamond in the rough here, and so we're happy to be part of it.
And you're helping to polish it off.
Yeah.
All right. So with last semester, on the fall semester, you and Miss Beth were able to greet students on move-in day and cook breakfast and do a whole lot of activities. What do you have planned for move-in day? Is move-in day this weekend?
Well, not really. People are moving back in, so really it's not the same kind of moving.
You don't have as many new people
because everyone
moving.
still has all their stuff here. We have several new students, probably about 40 or 50 new freshmen will come in this fall that were somewhere else or finished school early and decided to come to campus early. But it's not the same kind of big deal.
Okay.
I don't know what the staff has traditionally done, what the student life team has done with some schools do a winter welcome week where you kind of there's lots of activities the first week. There's hot chocolate in different places, and it's actually one of my meetings today is to find out what we're doing for winter welcome week and see if we have one. I don't even know if we have it.
Well, I know the Multicultural Center is doing something for those students. I have to find it. Go ahead.
Well, while we're talking about things coming up, so Dr. Damphousse or Kelly, what are some other things that you have coming up for this spring semester? What are some of your goals, some of the projects you're going to be focused on?
Well, we spent the first 6 months listening to people, and we were about to start a strategic planning exercise where we come together as a faculty and staff and students and alumni and people at Jonesboro coming together and plan the next 5 years of Arkansas State. We decided to put that on hold for a little bit because we're right in the middle of doing an efficiency study. This is a study that the system office requested. We hired a company called Huron to come in and look at the entire system, and they're on our campus right now and have been for the past couple of weeks, couple of months, and they're asking questions of our folks, and we didn't want people to get confused by the efficiency study and the strategic planning exercise, and so we're waiting for that to come about. Sometime this spring, we will have that report, the efficiency study report, and then that will kick off our strategic planning exercise, and then we'll start planning out the future of Arkansas State. I'm really excited about that because it involves not just faculty and staff and administrators coming together and deciding things, but students will be involved, and we've also asked members of the community to be involved as well. So business people, Chamber of Commerce people, city government, local and state government officials to be here, because Arkansas State is not an island. It is, we like to think of it as intertwined in the community, and so we're excited about that opportunity for us to all to come together to plan our future. And some of the things we will plan are things that I'll never get to see accomplished. These will be 20-year plans. We should, the university is a 100-year-old institution. We should be making 20-year plans, but short-term plans and long-term plans. I think that there is something to be said about maybe looking at how the university is organized. Some people just over time, through one circumstance or another, maybe report to someone who they shouldn't be reporting to, and so kind of some organizational things that people wouldn't probably even see or notice, may not change things, and also starting to implement some of the policies that we've been talking about for the past semester to help improve student success, and getting those things lined up. Also, we're working really hard on the recruiting aspect of what we do. We work really hard to recruit students. We've admitted a record number of students. Never had so many people admitted to Arkansas State as we do now at this point in time. But the goal is to make sure that as many of those as possible come to Arkansas State.
Yes. And
so that's called, in the industry, it's called a yield effort, trying to yield the people who are in your accepted pool. And we are going to be reaching out to those students. We're going to be interacting with them a lot more than they're used to from this university in the past. We had this past semester one of the smallest freshman classes we've ever had. Who knows why that happened?
Oh, wow.
It was a pretty small freshman class. And the problem is that will live with us for 4 years, because that group of students will then make next year's sophomore class the smallest sophomore class we've ever had, and so on. So that doesn't go away. So my goal is for us to have the largest freshman class this coming fall, which means somewhere around 1,600 students in the freshman class. We could take 2,000. Without building another building, we can handle 2,000 freshmen. So if we can get to 1,600 this year, and maybe 1,700 or 1,800 the next couple of years, that will help get us to where we need to be. Not just financially, although that's part of it. The more students we have, the more tuition we have, the more resources we have, and so on. But we are a undereducated state, and we're not the only one. There's a lot of states in the same boat with us, but we don't have as many people getting college degrees as we need to in the state of Arkansas. And so that's our mission at Arkansas State, is to make sure that Arkansas's young people have the opportunity to get a college degree, because we know how life-changing that can be. Okay. And so increasing the number of students will be a huge issue for us this spring and throughout the summer.
And definitely agree with that. We're speaking with Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State University. We'll be back with more. This is a community conversation on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. The third African American Financial Experience Survey has been released by Prudential Research, and it offers some important insights about how you may feel about your financial situation and how you're handling your money matters. Consider these key findings. Paying down personal debt is a top financial priority, because the more money you can free up from servicing debt, including interest payments and other fees, the more you can use for other important priorities, including emergency savings, education, investing, and retirement. Also, those who are less reliant on credit cards tend to be more conscious of their spending, which is key to better money habits and boosting your financial confidence. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
For almost 3 years, KLEK 102.5 FM has brought you the music you love on your radio, on your computer, and on your phone. Now, we want to bring the music to your party, wedding, or any event. KLEK now offers DJ services for all occasions with over 22 years of DJ and broadcast experience. We can also announce your event on KLEK. Need a photographer for that special occasion? We got that covered too. Package deals available. Book us for DJ, photography, or for both for your event today. Call 870-203-9951 or look us up on social media at KLEK FM.
Karaoke and photo booths with a custom design of your event are also available.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
Did you know KLEK has a brand new streaming app? That's right, you can listen to KLEK 102.5 FM anywhere in the world. The app is available for all Android phones and tablets, as well as iPhones and iPads. Just search your app store for KLEK and download the KLEK app for free today, and don't miss a beat of the education, entertainment, and empowerment on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK.
KLEK
102.5 FM. Since Kelly likes when I do that. And speaking of Kelly, we are speaking with Dr. Kelly Damphousse, Chancellor of Arkansas State University. And we've been having a blast this entire hour. We're going to go to our Facebook live feed and hear from some of you out there. And Gail Raspberry says, please encourage Dean Hanrahan and the faculty of the College of Nursing and Health Professors to incorporate medical cannabis information into their curriculum. These students will be faced with patients utilizing cannabis therapies, and they need to know what to expect and how to best treat their patients. The human endocannabinoid system, hit me with a big word there, was identified years ago, but ask a nursing faculty member if they even know what it is. ASU and the College of Agriculture may consider the newly passed industrial hemp program, which is a research program, will roll out later this spring. And then she says, Betsy DeBose and the GOP administration is responsible for that. Student loans and financing higher education is keeping students away. And then Dr. Kieran Rogers McDaniel says, Dr. Damphousse has met with several student groups, and I work on campus, what I work with on campus. They were also grateful that the Chancellor took time out of his incredibly busy schedule to take an interest in them. Before you respond to Gail's comment about the cannabis, I want to kind of just add something to the other one where she mentioned about student loans. Unfortunately, student loans is an issue that affects a lot of people, and and myself included.
I took a student loan, so I spent the first 5 years of marriage. My wife spent the first 5 years of our marriage paying off my student loan.
But some people, are in a position to where paying them off is difficult and hopefully impossible. So, in your role as Chancellor, what do you try to do to educate people about that? And because there's probably not going to be any reform coming down the pipeline anytime soon on that, but just kind of address that as well as Ms. Raspberry's other comment.
Yeah, well, there needs to be reform on how student loans are handled. What has happened in some instances, because student loans were guaranteed by the federal government, that some institutions took this as an opportunity to make money by especially these for-profit institutions, offer someone a degree online, for example, and then say, and you can take a student loan to pay for this, and then charge them an exorbitant tuition, and then people get significantly in debt for a degree that may not be worth very much. And so that became the predatory practice by some institutions. One of the things that is important for our university to do is to educate people on the availability of loans. Loans are not the devil. So I took a student loan. I couldn't have gone to college without a student loan. I had a couple of grants. I didn't get any scholarships. I just had loans, and that's how I made my way through. So we need to educate people about the importance of being able to take a loan. They're available. If you're very poor, there are a lot of federal Pell Grants and block grants and so on, and there are some scholarship money. One of the biggest parts of my job is raising scholarship money, but loans are available. But then the second part of that is
well,
how.
before,
Yeah. No, I was going to say that the second part of that is we have to teach people how to use those loans.
Yes.
You don't want to take a student loan. Don't take all the money and spend it the first semester. Don't go out and buy a car with it. Sometimes people make unwise decisions with their student loans. They go and buy the newest iPhone, and they're on, they're downloading a bunch of iTunes stuff. So that has to do with financial literacy, and so many of our young people today don't know. They've never had a bank account before. They've never had a credit card. They get into credit card debt, and that's one of the barriers that we see with students are.
And I'm guilty of all of that.
Yeah, and I went through that as well. I bought a car on a credit card one time because I thought I really wanted to have a car, and I was paying 28% interest on this car. It was a terrible idea, but I didn't have that literacy. And so we're actually working with the state government right now to create a financial literacy training for our incoming freshman class this fall, so they learn how to manage the money that's available to them. First off, how to apply for grants, how to apply for scholarships, how to apply for loans, but then how to manage their money once they get it. That's a twofold thing. That's a life lesson that can have benefits way beyond the college experience.
Okay, and Dr. McDaniel had a comment, and I believe this is in response to Miss Raspberry about the cannabis. She says, Dr. Travis Simpkins in the College of Business does research on the business side of medical cannabis. He is awesome. Look up his CV on the COB website. Yeah,
this is actually going to become a bigger and bigger issue, not just in Arkansas, but across the country, as certain states make medical marijuana more accessible, like we have done in Arkansas, and other states make recreational marijuana more accessible, like you saw in Colorado first, but other states are starting to follow that path as well. The problem, of course, is that it's against the federal law to sell and distribute manufacture marijuana, and so we're in a very difficult situation right now where the federal law is being violated by state law, which allows something to happen. So we're in a very technically legal, tenuous situation here. Now, I think that every state institution should take advantage of this new opportunities that are in front of us, and legal marijuana research should be something we should be looking at, and training our students as well to understand that, especially from a nursing perspective.
Well, and I'll just add, I think what you're going to see come down the pipeline, I think you're going to see change on the federal level, because there are so many states that are now legalizing, and especially in light of Attorney General Jeff Sessions, saying that he's going to crack down even on states that are legalizing. I think you're going to see some pushback from the states, which is going to lead to congressional action. Anyway, got a quick question from Helen Scott. Let me see if I can get this in right quick. Why offer courses for things such as pharmacy tech, but then find out a lot of pharmacies will hire employees without prior education? The colleges and jobs aren't always in sync, and after 2 or 4 years of training and debt, that's a problem.
Well, that's another thing we're looking at, is looking and making sure that our curriculum is up to date, not just in pharmacy and nursing, but also in agriculture and engineering, making sure that our students are graduating with the skills that our current employers need, not the employers from years ago need.
Okay. All right, we got a minute and a half left. Kelly, is there anything else that you want to bring up that we may not have covered?
I just want to say how happy Beth and I are that we came to Jonesboro. We love it here. The people of Jonesboro have been so kind to us. I'm looking forward to Martin Luther King Day celebration and parade. I'll probably be the first chancellor in history that's physically acclimated to walk around in shirt sleeves on that day. I don't know what the weather will be like.
Well, you've had all the practice for them 5Ks.
That's right. And I love the cold weather that's coming.
Well, that's what being from Canada, you're used to it.
I love that stuff. And so we're excited about the future of Arkansas State, and we can't wait for to see those changes that we're looking at start to take effect, and to just really make this place and this place's people the best they can be, to give them an opportunity to thrive, not just survive, but to thrive.
All right.
Well, Kelly, go ahead, Quinn.
I just want to say I thank you. We thank you. So, as an online student, thank you for everything that you do.
Well, I'm proud of you for going back, finishing, and Laganzi for how successful you've been too. I'm proud of both you guys. I can't wait to call you one of our alumnus as well.
Well, with that, I'm gonna let Kelly take us.
We should pray over that real quick.
Okay. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, Kelly.
People said.
Kelly, take us out here. What's the name of that radio station?
KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK LP, Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council.
Hello, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. And this weather forecast is brought to you by Get Great